Let me start with an introduction to Siddha. I know I have a very special request from my translator. She has heard me before. She said, "Doctor, can you be a little slow this time?" I promised her, so I'll do that. Okay. The term is derived from Siddhi. What does it mean? It means attainment of perfection. So the goal of the Siddhas was to attain perfection, the ultimate perfection, to realize oneself, to realize one is part of the universal soul, the God. Right. This tradition dates back to 3,000 years. See, there was a traditional system of medicine which was pre-existing. The Siddhas compiled them into a codified system of medicine. Prior to that, it was a kind of a folklore knowledge which was spread across the region, southern part of India. The Siddhas codified them into a system of medicine. Therefore, it came to be called a Siddha system of medicine. It follows the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. I will explain to you what this Saiva Siddhanta philosophy is all about. It talks about Padi, Pasu and Pasan. That means the universal soul, the human being, and the binding features. The material things that are seen around are the binding features which binds the soul, prevents the soul from reaching the ultimate soul. So the physical things are material things. Right. So this is about Siddha. Therefore, Siddha for sure is a system of medicine which always took into account the body, mind, and the life within. And it's very clear, Siddha does not believe that the body and the mind are separable. There's non-dualism. There are no two. They are one and the same. They are together always. There, the life energy is considered to be the Prakriti. When we talk about Prakriti, that means the nature of a human being or nature of an individual. And Siddha system talks about there are 5 sheets. Professor was mentioning about the body, the mind and the intellect. The mind and the brain. Are they two? Are they one? To avoid this confusion, Siddha has made that the physical body, what we get from our parents, from our genes, and also from whatever food we eat, is what we call as the Annamaya Kosa, or the physical sheet of the body. There are certain things beyond this, right? When we classify the human beings, we classify them into 3 distinct groups. It's not that everybody will fall under one of these Prakriti, either Vada or Pitta or Kapha. It could be a combination also, where one could be predominant. When we talk about the nature of a being, we just not talk about the physical nature of the being, we also talk about the physical nature is the metabolic features, that the skin, the hair, the digestion, the physical structures and things like that, and also the psychological characteristics, which means the emotional tendencies of human being, the learning patterns, the goals, the sleep patterns, the relationship needs, all of them are covered in the Prakriti. For example, if I am a Vada Prakriti, which I am not just tall alone, I am not dark alone, but I don't stand in one place, I am always active. The mobility, right? The postures, body language, these all come under the Vada Prakriti. When we talk about a Pitta Prakriti, in the physical part is well explained in all texts, I am not going to go into that. A person who gets angry for everything, a person who is aggressive, a person who does not stand hunger. At 1 o'clock, he needs his lunch, right? That's the kind of a person is a Pitta Prakriti. A Kapha Prakriti could just obese, but is cool and calm, doesn't get provoked so easily. So these are the characters. When they classify the Prakriti, the body-mind components are always taken into account in Siddha. This is very similar in other traditional systems also, right? The three different manifestations of prana, we call it as the Shakti or the energy, recounts its diverse function in the body. And Siddha believes the body is the microcosm. That's where the ecology part of it came into this thing. The body is the microcosm which is made up of the 5 elements. The world around us is also made of the very same 5 elements. So any influence of the world around us have an influence on our physical well-being. So it is also include the environmental factor into it. When I come to the understanding of the body, the first part I mentioned is the Annamaya Kosa, where that's a physical body which gets all its energy or strength from the food we eat. At this level, of the physical body, there is always an ego. So we are not able to get out of the ego in the physical body and physical sheath. Then you have the mental sheath, the manas, the mind. In a mental sheath, Siddha classifies into Chittam, Buddhi and Manam. The Mana is the outer part, which is not very deep. Buddhi, a kind of an intellect where analysis takes place. Analytical mind becomes the Buddhi, and the deep inner mind is Chittam. That is word from Chit, Kirti, Siddha. Right? So the inner mind consists of a deep core of feeling and knowing. In our daily life, we stop with the mind level itself. And at best, some of our elite go to the Buddhi level. Again, so there is 3 gunas, which Professor explained. The Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva is the consciousness, state of consciousness. Rajas is a state of energy and dynamism. And Tamas is the mass, inertia, stability. Right? And what are the food? The Annamaya Kosa is about the food we eat. What are the food and what it contributes? A milder food, we call it as a sattvic food, which has a character of kapha. That's why calm and cool. Rajasic food is hot, spicy food, is pitta food, and it's full of energy and dynamism. Tamasic is the astringent fruit, tubers, and the meat. Right? This reflects also in the choice of medicine or based on the preference of the individual. Again, when you look at the 5-element theory of Siddha, air exists in the inner mind as underlying mental sensitivity and deeper feeling. Fire exists in the intermediate mind as the rational and the discriminating factor. The water exists in the outer mind as the emotional nature or ability to connect with the external world. At the stage of the mental sheet, slowly moving up, a layer up from the physical sheet, here one develops some of the siddhis. These siddhis are attained through these sense organs, the indriyas. But one may still have troublesome emotion in the state of the mental sheet. One may have troublesome emotion, desires in vital body, which is not yet surrendered completely. Here is the difference, the brain and the mind. The intellectual sheet, the analytical sheet, rules, thinking largely ceases, one develops the jnana siddhi, the ability to one thinks intuitively by identity. Then the pranamaya kosa, the life energy, life sheet, where the life flows. In Siddha, we have 10 meridians-like objects. You can't call it as an object. It's a kind of a concept, right? There are 12 meridians in the traditional Chinese medicine. The meridians, we have the 10 nadis, called as the dasa nadis. This is where the energy flows, right? The Solomona is the part where the energy crisscrosses, that is one of the most vital points. Because this energy, we also link it to what we call as the Varma therapy in Siddha, Varma medicine in Siddha, where this part, the subliminal parts plays a very important role, and there are certain body points, Varma points, which are connected with this life energy. In the vital body, the pranamaya kosa, it surrenders all its desires. One layer above the manomaya kosa and the vijnanamaya kosa, in this sheet, respiratory sheet, the life sheet, it surrenders all its emotion and moves towards a cyclic being. Physical body has still not surrendered to the higher nature and listen to the supreme consciousness in every part of it. Yeah, this is the Varma location I was talking about. There are 108 locations in the body along the course of the dasanadis. These are the places where the life energy resides or gets stagnated because of certain reasons. And the three important points that I would like to mention here are the one where most women, Indian women, apply the Vemulum, right? This bindi. This is called as the Tilakta Kalam, in between the eyebrows of the audience and the nasal bridge. This is a very important life point. Then Uchimarmam is the crown, the center, the DU20 of acupuncture. Then near the tragus of the ear, called the Sevikutivarmam, and the Mudichavarmam is something very close to the crisscrossing of energy, Shulmana point, more prominence of the cervical spine. Then comes the spiritual sheet in Siddha. In the spiritual body, the Anandamaya Kosa, the eternal bliss, one tries to realize himself completely and become conscious with the oneness, the universal soul, right? It's an intimate communion with the divine, right? The goal of the Siddhas achieved is to attain this divine state. The goal of the Siddha is to achieve this divine state for which the sick body is an implement. That's very important. See, why the Siddha system came into existence? The very fact is because the Siddhas were trying the various methods to attain the universal soul or the state of enlightenment. For them, the physical body, when it gets diseased, is an impediment. Therefore, they want to transcend this stage, so they wanted to preserve the physical body as well. Without a sound body, there can't be a sound mind. Without a sound mind, there can't be a better understanding. Without the better understanding, there can't be a better consciousness. Yeah. This is again the repetition of what Dr. Professor Singh said. Ideally, in a healthy individual, the body should be free from disease, the mind should be happy, and the soul should be spiritually elevated. Siddhas, when considering health and disease, take cognizance of the mind as well as the body. The body generally maintains equilibrium in the functioning of the biological humors. The biological humors, the three doshas, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha. When they are in equilibrium, your physical body is free from disease and your mind is calm and healthy. What is the basic approach to health? For a healthy living, Siddha emphasizes on living in harmony with nature, link between the microcosm and the macrocosm, healthy environment for a healthy living, not just the physical surrounding. When I talk about a healthy living, it's not just about the physical surrounding, the environment I'm talking about. I'm talking about your peace of mind, right? Where everything, all the positive vibes are around you, like what we have this morning, right? We should be in that state so that, we are happy. The Anandamaya was there. And when we talk about, I have another lecture tomorrow morning, so summer's back I'm reserving for tomorrow morning. Okay, but still I cannot go without this. The understanding of Siddha on medicine. The Siddha was contributed much on the body-mind relationship is Thirunarayanan. One that protects the physical ailment. Protect from the physical ailment is medicine. One that protects from the psychological ailment is medicine. One that prevents ailment is medicine. and one that bestows immortality is medicine. So Siddhas have a very clear understanding of what a medicine should be. It's not a drug. It's not simply a drug. It could be a lifestyle, it could be a food, it could be a cleansing therapy, it could be an external therapy, it could be a therapy to the mind, all inclusive. It's an all-inclusive this time. That's why it's talked about bestows immortality. This morning there was an young friend who was asking His Holiness, can we extend life? Right? The Skaya Kalpa, there is something called Skaya Kalpa in Siddha, right? Which is all about longevity. There's an exclusive branch which talks about longevity. Management of healthy lifestyle includes eating healthy food based on the body type, based on the season, based on the digestive capacity of an individual, following the healthy daily regimen for maintaining the acuity of the sense organs and the seven physical constants of the life forces, following cleansing therapies like emesis, purgation, nasal application at regular interval. These are all very important for a healthy living. In Siddha, yoga, the body, mind and unison. Again, Thirunarayanan has written an extensive treatise on the body, mind, unison. Right? It's a physical system with a spiritual component. Siddhas have defined an 8-step tool for body, mind, unison and called this as NYA Yoga. Maintaining good health or falling prey to disease is the choice of an individual based on what food we eat and what lifestyle we follow, which is again the influence of the mind over the body. Many diseases like pain, skin disease, diabetes, hypertension, obesity due to stressful eating, regulating the body by regulating the mind is the best way, right? Faster? Okay, I'm eating on the time. Okay. See, you know a lot of diseases that the physical body, when you see a small scratch or a mark or a patch here, your mind sends the signal, asks you to scratch it. So, the body influencing the mind. When you have stress in life, your blood pressure goes up, your diabetes goes up, right? The skin disease like psoriasis becomes more, your pain and arthritis become more, your muscles become rigid. So the body-mind relationship is very, very clear in all the traditional systems of medicine and like so also in Siddha system of medicine. And how to regulate it? Regulate that by regulating your mind. And what to do for that? Follow a daily and a seasonal regimen. Siddha Theory has prescribed what is to be done daily and what is to be done during different seasons of life, right? And different ages also. The control of mind is essential to follow the health regime. Adoption of cleansing therapy, because patient compliance is very, very important. You may suggest something, when the patient does not follow it, he is not going to get better. So for a patient compliance, the doctor needs to have the compassion and love for the patient and explain to him every single point to him. And the patient should also be in a position to follow what the doctor says, right? So for that is basically the mind game. It's a mind game. And this is what was elaborated this morning by His Holiness. So I don't want to elaborate this. I cannot elaborate much better than what he said this morning. The 8 passions, which are Ashta Ragas and Siddhas, are the desire, hatred, misery, lust, pride or self-esteem, internal conflict, mockery and ego. These are the ones which are responsible for mind getting affected, and this is what Siddha says, to avoid these Ashta Ragas so that you can have a healthy life. How do you do that? To control, channelize the energy. Anyway you have the energy, you need to do that. You are aggressive, but you need to control that. What do you do? You follow the Ashtanga Yoga, you follow the breathing exercise of pranayama, the purity of thought, the purity of action, your postural practices and meditation. Various studies which are carried out now have proven all these things can really help. In conclusion, mind plays a major role in the health of an individual. Loss of mental control and falling prey to the passions leads to disease. Adopting a healthy lifestyle practice prescribed by the Siddhas will help not only to overcome disease but also live a healthy life too. Thank you very much for your time and attention.